Hello, you beauties, and welcome to Blunt Force Healing Podcast. This is episode number 810, which means day 810 of continuous consecutive blogging and podcasting. And it's not the usual entertaining podcast that you might find or the YouTube channel. I am journaling, so I basically talk and write about every single day that passes by. And as you know, life is not always exciting, so a lot of these days are pretty dull. Sometimes I was dragging. Let me try and recenter. Okay. I won't be cutting it. I leave it as is. It was a couple of seconds of a blooper potentially, but yeah, the battery is going low and the message dropped the transmission or recording. So I hope you didn't lose too much. So basically, for a while I was recording various episodes that were longer and shorter, but sometimes I was talking too much about things that didn't matter. So I decided to now drive the everyday blogging, but with specific highlights only, and try to close it within 5 or 6 minutes. So just to summarize, this week that I'm updating you on is my parents' visit in Ireland. They came for a week, and this is the day 810, but it's Thursday, which was the 4th full day of my parents being here with us, and the weather was still miserable. It didn't improve that much. I think we didn't have too much rain in the middle of the day. That's why we managed to plan for and go and visit Murva Beach, which is very close to us. But it's very specific. It looks like a sanctuary. It's a beautiful golden strand of the beach. Protected habitat of many birds and other species of animals, but many people go there locally for a walk. It's not very common to see it in any guide or any blogs, so it's great because even when there's touristic season, while it is packed in on a good days, it's usually not as attractive as other beaches around. So we have it pretty much to ourselves. And we went there with my father and my mother, and the weather was quite windy, albeit it wasn't raining, so we were lucky in that sense. But we decided to go for a walk in a form of our usual loop that we do with Elizabeth and Julian if it's windy. So half of it we do along the road and through the forest via the golf course road, and then we cut through the dunes and come back walking on the beach. This time we went pretty much the same way, but it was very, very windy. The storm was coming at the time, already was developing, so they were very strong winds, even for Donegal, and our usual experience with storms. They weren't extreme, but they were pretty gusty. So we decided to not cross the dunes and go along the beach. We went through the dunes for a moment, but we turned around and we walked behind the dunes along the dune grass, which gave us a little bit more cover and allowed us to reach out the destination safely. We did it slightly differently in a way that Elizabeth went for a jog to the golf course and the back, so she used the same road that goes through the forest and back. We went a little bit through the actual forest and reached the road and met Elizabeth as she was turning back, and then we went towards the dunes and came back through the grass. Elizabeth was already back from her jog in the car, so she drove closer to us to the car park and picked us up because the weather was really developing into a stormy one, so we didn't want to risk it. We were with Julian. Julian had fun with grandparents, again, running and pushing and all that stuff. So it was great to see them playing together. And in the evening, as the name of the episode says, Neapolitan Irish is because we went to another friend of ours with the Napoli type pizza, handmade here on the spot in a proper oven and in a proper Napolitan style. So it was the first time I was carrying so many pizzas to our house, but we all enjoyed it. It was great buzz, and again, great evening with my parents and Julia's grandparents. So the highlight of today was basically the walk in Murva, the developing storm, and our pizza time. So as you can see, not very entertaining, but this was as much as we could squeeze out of that miserable short winter day on Thursday. So thank you very much for tuning in. Have a great rest of the day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are on the globe. Stay tuned and see you again in tomorrow's update.